Hi guys, so hopefully you guys can hear us and see us okay. I'm here actually with my brother Lucas.
Hi everyone.
I don't know what happened. I don't know whether it's just my internet speed or what, but I'm gonna check actually right now. So while you guys just, you can keep on having the conversation in the comments section, and I'm just gonna check here and make sure that everything is actually okay. Um, yeah.
You need a website.
And also, in the meantime, I'm gonna quickly, because I forgot, start the stream on Facebook. Hopefully everything's okay there.
Mike, supposedly your sound is not good, but my sound is okay.
Yeah. Uh, it, can you guys hear me?
Yes, people are saying good.
Now it's
Oh,
good. Yeah.
I think so.
All right. Just gonna test here. This is the thing of doing a live show. You never know how it's gonna go.
Well, yeah, we're trying to get to the point where we do know how it goes, but
Well, yeah, that.
still not there. Sorry, guys. Thank you for your patience. Uh,
Setting everything up here. All right. I believe it's working now.
there's a commercial playing. The
I.
commercials play. That's the most important thing. The commercial plays smoothly.
Oh, really? There's. How do we disable it then?
I don't know, but
Let's.
it's a 15 seconds.
Sorry, guys. So, anyways, for those of you on Facebook who are just joining us, we're already been live on YouTube, but we had some problems. That's why there's a delay, and I think it just came down to my internet problems. Like suddenly my connection cut out, whereas this morning everything was perfect. So, apologies. So before we actually start, let me just double check that everything is okay, and let us also know in the comment section if you guys like have problems hearing me or my brother Lucas.
Actually, Tomek, I can hear you, but like not great.
Like even on the live stream,
Yeah,
it's
even I think
quiet or
yeah, guys, let us know. We have people from all over the world joining us. Hi, Saskatchewan, and we got all over the United States, of course, Europe, Netherlands. So it's really cool.
no?
Italy. It's really cool to see so many people joining us from different
Definitely.
places. And I guess we hopefully the time we picked this works for many people. We took a long time to decide what would be the best time. So let us know. I know it's not going to be make everybody happy. I think Australia and New Zealand, that's not a good time for them. But Denmark, Argentina, Holland, cool. So like,
Yeah, so just if you want, you can go through some of the questions there, Lucas, while you
well,
entertain
a
everybody.
big question here right away. First question I saw was about the Ursa Mini 4.6 Pro.
Oh,
Your
okay.
opinion? That's what
Well,
seems to
I'll
be
get into that in a second.
yeah. So many comments coming through.
So yeah, it looks like we're live on Facebook, right? You can see it, Lucas, too.
Sorry, I haven't checked that.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys can hear us okay and all that stuff. But yeah, just keep on checking, Lucas. If make sure that both Facebook and YouTube are go okay, and otherwise, just gonna go for it here.
Cannot really see knowing this. Oh, the stream on Facebook.
No, on our Facebook page.
Oh, now I can see. Okay, okay, guys.
All right. So, what should we start with? There's a lot of things to talk about. I guess let's first talk about the show itself. I want to make sure that you guys are, that you're enjoying the show. First of all, hopefully, once we get everything figured out with the technical things, we won't have any of these delays. And definitely, I'll be giving my internet provider, service provider, a phone call. But anyways, so I guess what I wanted to say is we want to do a weekly live show, so you guys can, have a chance to talk to us. Every week it's going to be different. So some shows are going to be me maybe doing some tutorials or just showing updates, like me working on some new projects that I'm working on. We want to, once we get, like I said, all the technical side to figure it out, I eventually want to take this show like on location. So we will have, like, let's say I'm working on a film and we can be
No, I
live
cannot
on
hear you.
location. So that's the idea here. So I'm hearing that some people are saying that they can't hear me. So can you hear me, Lucas? No problem. Let me see here. What is happening? Here in the comments. Okay, so people are saying that they can hear me. We can hear you okay. Okay. All right, thank you guys for letting us know. Like I said, we want to do a weekly show and get you guys a chance to be, like, basically so we can be more connected, because I think the cool thing about doing live shows is that I can see you guys like right away here asking questions, interacting. Also, which is going to be later part of the show today, we want to show some of your work. There's so many talented people out there, and that's kind of, I want to give you guys a chance to kind of show your work in other venues. I'm sure you guys submit your films and other music videos and whatever you do to film festivals, but I also want to be able to make sure you get as much of an exposure, I guess, here online. Plus, also, if you just want my opinion, like some of the submissions we got were people asking me, like, to critique the work and stuff like that. Now, I'll tell you right off the bat, I'm not a critic, and I don't want to be a critic. So just keep that in mind, that I'm not gonna like get into really, like when it comes to, I would say, from the creative side, because I don't think there's a wrong or right. So I don't want to be a critic in that sense. I might mention here too, but I'm more going to concentrate on the technical things, like what I think maybe technically you can improve or change. But creatively, I think it's, everybody is going to have a different style. So it's just really comes down to you developing your style, and then if an audience embraces your work, then it's better than hearing one critic, like somebody like me, just criticize it, because I might not like a story, for example, but somebody else might love that same story, right? So that's why there's all kinds of movies and entertainment out there, because different people like different things. So that's the idea. So in the later portion of today's show, that's what we're gonna do. Now, just as an update, what we've been up to over the last, basically, the last, was it been like almost 3 months? I've been in South America and Ecuador. It was kind of a vacation slash work. That I would say towards the end of the part was more vacation. I'm not gonna lie, but otherwise it was, we did some interesting projects over there. And now that I'm back home, that's why we decided to kind of start this live show. We want to do it regularly. So like I said, we're testing out the time. We want to do it every week on Sunday at 12, because it seems like that's what most people prefer. But again, let us know in the comments if you guys, you know, wanna have it happen at different times or whatever. And then again, we'll adjust the show and slowly improve it. And I kind of want to I want you guys to help us basically make this show as good as it can be. So let us know what you like and what you don't like, right? So we can improve on it. Any questions, Lucas, over there, or you want to add something to it? No? Okay, I don't know if Lucas can hear me. I think we lost him. Lucas, can you hear me?
Oh, Mike, unfortunately, I cannot hear you.
You cannot hear me. Okay, I can hear you, but I don't know why you can't hear me. But anyways, okay, so I'll continue. And again, you see, those are the kind of problems with Skype we're having and things like that. So here, let me just maybe first, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna show you guys basically. I'm kind of curious myself.
Well, there is a I'm listening to you now, Tom, on the live stream. So it's about 10-second delay, I believe.
Oh, okay. But on the live stream, it's okay, right? Yeah, I'm guessing that there's a delay, so I won't wait for his answer. Anyways, while I was away, I got a whole bunch of gear, fan mail, things like that, and it's always interesting like with what I do because different people and companies, but a lot of times it's even just like somebody like a single person who hasn't really started a company yet, but had a good idea for a product, like a camera accessory or something. They'll send it to me, ask for my opinion, and sometimes they'll ask me to kind of just, you know, show it on my YouTube channel. So I started opening some of these boxes already. Some of them were, you know, I was too tempted not to open them. The first one is from Caledon LED Pro. You guys can see it here. Let me here cut the close up. Hopefully you can see it better. That's what it's like, a little case, and it's let's see here. So yeah, it's like a padded case, and then inside here we have what is it? Well, let me just take it out and I'll show you guys. So these are, and I think I got another one. I think the other one is just like a different strength, but it's like a LED light that you put on your camera. Has Sony NPF connections, so it's always good. I think those batteries are cheap and popular. You have the color balance, brightness adjustment. You also have, what is there? Well, I guess that's it. And then the on-off switch. And then what else it comes with? Okay, it has like a little hot shoe mount, so you can, I guess, adjust the angle. Comes with 2 Sony NPF batteries, actually, so that's a good thing. Comes with the charger for the batteries. And let me actually see if I can just turn it on quickly. See how that works. And turn it on. Oh, it's pretty bright. That's all I can tell you. I don't have a light meter here, but yeah, it's pretty damn bright. And you can adjust the temperature. So you can adjust the temperature of it, so it looks pretty cool. So I'm definitely going to be, like some of this gear that I get, or most of it, you know, unless I think it's just really a bad piece of gear. But most of it, I'll open up, I'll test it out, and if I see that it's something worth talking about, then I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel, and like I'll do like a proper review. But if I don't talk about something, you can kind of assume that it basically just wasn't worth talking about, so it just wasn't good. Now, it doesn't mean that every product review that I do is a positive review. It could be mixed. But like I said, like if I do a video about something, it's because I really think it's worth talking about. So let's see what else we have here. Some other box. Let me know if there's any questions there. And you know what, in the meantime, just hold on, guys, because my brother can't hear me and he's moderating.
Yeah, I'm saving the questions for later.
Okay.
Now, one problem is with
I'm going to change here to Skype settings. Hold on, Lucas. see, hopefully he can hear me. It's weird because he should be able to hear me. Can you hear me now? Kind of hard to interact with Lucas when... No, I guess he can't hear me. Can you hear me now, Lucas? Hello? No, I guess not. Okay, anyways, I'm going to continue without Lucas, I guess. So what is this? Oh, okay, there it says. So sometimes on the boxes that I get, it doesn't even say what it is. Small rig. Oh, I think I've used some of their gear for my long time ago for my Canon 7D. They have like camera accessories, and this one is, oh, it's for the Ursa. Oh, it's a side plate. So definitely there's a lot of nice accessories here. I'm gonna try this out with the Ursa Mini, and I'll let you guys know, but it's too many parts right now to take it out. So again, if it's good, you'll see a video about it on my YouTube channel, or if it's worth talking about. Another package I got. This one is, it doesn't say from who. Anyways, let me open it up. See in the meantime if there's any here questions that I can take. So a question, how important is film school?
You want to address some questions?
Yeah. So just like let me know if there's a question, Lucas, and yeah, and I'll just answer them. Okay. So next package I got is this padded little. It's like a cardboard thing, but it's from Came TV, and it says twist and pull. Oh, okay. Now I know what this is. It's one of those like sliders that works like a hinge. I'm not quite sure how it works, but it packs so it's small, but so that you get basically twice the length of this even, because then it goes to the other side. How well it works, we'll see. I'm gonna test it out. But I know now. I remember that I've been getting requests from people to review this thing. I guess it's like a new product from Came TV. And that just so happens they send it to me, so it's good. All right, let me put this away. More boxes here. A small one from Aperture. Oh, already padded. Oh, what is this? It's a Fresnel lens. Oh, that's for the Fresnel lens for their new light series. So it has a Bowens mount. So it's kind of cool because they have the Lightstorm, 120D T that I reviewed. And here I actually have another one that they sent to me, which is the D1, the daylight balance. That's really the only difference. And it has the Bowens mount. So it's very light, so it's kind of cool. And it has the, what do you call it? This thing. Hold on, let me see what happened here. Sounds changed. All right, something happened. Not even quite sure what happened, but my brother is gone. Okay. So anyways, we got the Fresnel lens here. Let's see what else. too many boxes to go through all of them. So maybe I won't go through all of them. So like I said, I've got some lights there. What is this one? Ugh, it's a big one. It's from Cinerails. Cinerails.com. I don't even know what that is. Let's open it up. So, Lucas, maybe you can, since for some reason Skype doesn't work, maybe you can just go and on my phone, like just send me messages here. What questions you have, so you can moderate from the over the phone. Anyways, let's see what we got here. Oh, sorry for the sounds. I don't know about you guys, but I like getting new gear. Even though, I probably have too much. But it's just, I like testing out new stuff, like new technology and just, things that people build. So this is, oh, okay, now I remember. I think I've seen this online. It's like a little dolly that you basically spread open, has 3 legs, so you put pretty much any tripod on it, has little clamps here to hold the tripod legs, and you see it has these wheels here. It's like sort of skateboard wheels. They're very good quality, very solid, and you put this on a dolly, so you can put it on any dolly truck, but they actually include, looks like, some dolly trucks here. So yeah, definitely too big to set up right now, but let me put this away. Okay, I have more gear, but we'll look at it next week. So that's the gear. So yeah, there's some cool things there, definitely, that I can try out. Let me see here. I'm gonna call my brother so he can still participate in the show. I mean, he's answering questions you guys have online, so that's a good thing. But I don't know, maybe his internet is down. All right, so let's see here what's happening. What questions we have. The hard thing is, without my brother now, is like I'm trying to look on Facebook and on YouTube and like all the things that we're doing and make sure everything works, and trying to, be here and talk to you guys. So question here on Facebook is, so what's the price of the LED light? I have no idea what the price is of any of this gear. I have to check it out. So like I said, I just got it, and some of it I just opened it like this morning or right now live. Hello, Minnesota. All right. So we got a question from Adarshdeep. Maybe I shouldn't try to pronounce these, but here, believe we can get my brother here on the call. So can you hear us, Lucas?
I can hear Dominic with delay, but
Okay.
through the stream. Then you can messages through the WhatsApp. So hopefully, your phone you can see the the question.
Well, hold on. Just stay online, Lucas. Here. I'm gonna blame this on the internet connection. So stay with us online, so you can just be part of the show. Okay, even just your voice. Okay.
WhatsApp.
Yeah, just stay here.
But are you reading my messages, Tom?
No, I cannot. And there's too many things to do to read messages and everything. So if there's a question, you read it out loud. Just let me know. People will hear you. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So do you want to answer some questions right now? You think, or what time is it? It's 12:30 already. Oh man, time flies.
Yeah, it's 12:40. Oh, actually, time flies. Okay, well, we started late.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get to some questions here. I just right now the most recent one I see here. Guys, the name is kind of very difficult for us to pronounce. Maybe we won't even try because it just might be really awkward for us, and And so here we have a question again. Tom. So somebody wants to buy a new audio recorder and is considering H4n Zoom Pro. Is it a good option? Do you recommend it?
H4n Zoom.
H4n Zoom. Is there a Pro?
I don't know. Is there a Pro?
I think it's just H4n. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, let's double.
Have you used anything at H4n?
I mean, I've used the H5, H6. I haven't used the H4n, so that's why I'm, What's that?
Using H4 is this Zoom recorder that we have. Isn't that which model is that? I thought it was H4n. No.
The Zoom recorder well, yeah, the old one. The old one, yeah, is H4n.
Yeah, that's the one we're using. So.
Oh, okay.
You do recommend it because we are still using it for many years, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, we have the new ones. So we're using the new one, the H5n, right? That's the one that I tested out the H6. It was great too, but it's just too expensive, I think. H5n is like a perfect middle ground. H4n, it's good, but it does have, I mean, unless you can get it for really cheap, yeah, I mean, if you can get it for really cheap, go for it. But if you're, if you have a chance to get the H5n or the H5, I mean, or the H4, I think there is like a newer version of the H4. Basically,
there
something.
Is a Pro version.
Oh, Pro version. So maybe that's the newer one. Because I know that the old one, the preamps, that was the main thing. It weren't great. And also, like like the reason why. I mean, they weren't bad, but I mean, we've shot films on it, and the audio was good. But once I switched to H5, for example, the recorder, I mean, it was a big difference. Also, if like when it comes to just little things like with the quality of the build, I found that the recorder was basically the H4n is a little flimsy, plasticky, and you hear those buttons like crazy. So, and also to adjust the input levels, like the recording levels, you don't have any physical knobs. You have to press buttons and go click, 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 and you hear that. So pretty much, if you're recording sound live, you cannot be adjusting the levels live, which sometimes you need to do it. So whereas with the newer recorders, even like the Tascam ones, you actually have physical knobs that you can turn while you're recording, and they're quiet. So that is it's an important thing, right? So that's what I would say is just something to be aware of. Any other questions?
Well, I mean, the main thing is about few people have asked about the new Ursa Mini 4.6 Pro camera.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. That's all.
Just going back to the H4n. So basic H4n Pro. Yes, there is a version like that. We just you have not used it, so that's the main thing, right?
Yeah.
You have not used it. We cannot really say 100% it's a good buy. We released the video where you compared the H5, H6, and H4n, the older version, right?
Yeah.
So that's all you can do, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So yeah, so what's it called? I mean, I'll tell you this from what I've seen, and I've seen pretty much as you guys have seen online. I do know a few people at Blackmagic. I'm not like best of friends with them, but they did sponsor my tour last year. So like I said, I know some people there at the company, but they're very like secretive when they have new products. And I can tell you for sure, they're gonna have new products they're gonna announce at NAB this year, which is just basically like a month and a half away. So I would say hold off, don't order the camera. I mean, first of all, I would say always, if you have a chance, uh, test out a camera before you buy it, especially something that costs thousands of dollars like this one. Now, if basically from what I've heard and what I've seen is, it's identical to the Ursa Mini 4.6K in terms of quality. The sensor is identical, the electronic, everything's identical. Just basically the difference is they've included some extras in it because the Ursa Mini 4K and 4.6K, if you've seen my review, I talk about it and I actually say that it's kind of bigger body, but it's very light. And the reason is because I actually had a chance to look inside. The reason is because most of it is just empty space. And I remember when I saw that first time, I realized that, well, it's good for cooling off the sensor, so that's one thing. And I never had problems with the camera overheating. But also I knew right away that they were going to be adding extra accessories to it, like extra things, because that's why they had all this extra space. So this way they didn't have to design a new camera body or things like that. They could just add, the new things, new parts inside, and that's exactly what they've done. So basically, the new Ursa Mini Pro is the same camera as the Ursa Mini 4.6K. The only difference is it has the built-in NDs, which is a great thing, an amazing thing, especially if you're doing like run and gun kind of filming, or television broadcast kind of work where you cannot have a mud packs and have time to switch NDs in there and things like that. You need to have NDs built in that you can quickly switch. So amazing, upgrade. Also, it has physical buttons that they've added. So they've added buttons for, like all the main controls, ISO, white balance, things like that. Even aperture. But they have like other like custom buttons that you can assign now, and things like that. So that's a good thing. For audio, they have better, but they also added more recording media options. So now you can record on SD cards, the latest SD cards. The expensive ones, but they're still cheaper than CFast cards, and you can also record on CFast cards. So those are like the things that are additions. But if you don't care about having those extra functions, you could say, or the extra, not even functions, but the the little buttons and things like that. If you just care about image quality and you want to save yourself $1,000, then I would say yeah, just go for the Ursa Mini 4.6K. It's because it's identical in terms of quality. But at the same time, if you consider that it's only $1,000, it's not that much more. $6,000 retails versus the previous versions $5,000. Then it is actually, it's a very small price difference. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the built-in NDs alone can cost you like good ones. With as you've seen my video on the Ursa Mini 4.6K, you gotta have a IR infrared filter that will cut the infrared light. Otherwise, you're gonna get a lot of IR pollution and things like that. So having really good NDs built into the camera that cut out IR and all that stuff, I mean, to buy a set of nice NDs with the IR and all those things and the matte packs, it's going to cost you more than $1,000. So I mean, well, you can get them cheaper than $1,000, but they're not going to be good quality. So good quality is going to be more than $1,000. So that alone, I would say, warrants the price, the $6,000 price tag. And also comparing it to any other camera, any other, because this is, we're talking about a professional cinema camera. Yeah, you're getting into, you're basically, like I said, it's any other professional cinema camera that can deliver that kind of quality, the raw recording, the nice dynamic range, all those things, slow motion, is closest that comes to it is the Red Raven, which has been back ordered like crazy. Just a basic package so you can start recording is really, because the camera, yeah, there retails for supposedly over $5,000, but it's really, to get it working, you need to spend 11 grand. So $11,000 to $6,000 is a huge difference. And after that, you have all these other cameras that are much more expensive. So I would say it's the cheapest, more affordable cinema camera that has now all the features really that you need. So if you don't own the Ursa, 4.6K, and you want to get it, then yeah, just get the new one right away. Because like, if you're worried about the quality of the image, well, you've seen all the reviews, including hopefully my review of the camera, and you've seen that the camera delivers, that at the end of the day, amazing image quality. But at the same time, if you're not in a hurry, you don't need to get something right now, then maybe wait, because like I'm telling you, don't be surprised if at NAB a month and a half from now they're going to announce more cameras, and probably even more like the variations of the Ursa Mini. Because like I said, there's still a lot of space in that camera and a lot of things that they can add. So they might add other functions. So, you know, if you don't need a camera right now, then just wait till NAB. But if you have a project, then yeah, just go get the camera or rent it and just start shooting. Anyways, any other questions, Lucas?
Yeah, quite a few. Where do we go next?
Well, I'm thinking, should we maybe go, maybe Lucas, before we answer more questions, because I know we've been, like, we started late, but maybe we should start, we want to show some of the work that you guys submitted to us. So we won't be able to show everything, because, like, we've gotten some great submissions, but they were, like, half-hour, 40-minute long films, so obviously we can't show the whole thing, but kind of what I'm going to do is just show, like, little snippets here and there. I've watched it already, so I can give you my critique, and then at the end of the show, we're going to provide this. It's going to be in the description of the video. So you'll be able to click on the links and you guys can see the full film or whatever it is that we're showing. So let me see here what we have. First thing.
Let's start with the one, I guess maybe you're the most interested, or you have the most, I don't know.
Well, I'm just going to kind of go from the top, the ones that we picked, right? So this one is from Vinu Balarishan. Probably butchered that name, but anyways, this is he was a director of this project. It's his debut short film, and he's just asking for a fair review and on directorial basis. So let me just get it connected so you guys can see it, and also so I can hear it.
I'm going to post the name of the filmmaker in the chat.
Yeah.
So people can see the name.
And here, let me just click it. And here it is. Well, here's my YouTube, so let's make this full screen. And the film is, as you can see, half-hour long. So, anyways, here's how it looks and sounds. But like I said, I'm only going to play part of it. So yeah, that's the production company name. Yeah, I mean, they're nice, but I always say the shorter the titles you can get, especially on YouTube, the better.
Yeah, I think that's the beginning there with the girl.
battery.
Maybe I'll just let you guys watch without me talking too much about it, but just pay attention to like the cinematography. Like you see, that's a cool shot. I like that when you know, seeing through the gas canister, and very stylized kind of look.
അതെ ആ ചേട്ടനെ പാല് കിട്ടാത്തോണ്ട് പെട്രോൾ കുടിക്കുന്നതാ.
So let me just skip forward a little bit so you guys can see some of the other shots.
Hello?
Maybe jump to there's a conversation that this character has with his friends. Maybe jump to the...
Yeah, in the room, yeah.
So maybe just go to the beginning of the thing. There's a something I wanted to like early in
Oh, when he comes in?
that conversation. I don't know. I mean,
ആനക്ക് എന്തിന്റെ സൂക്കേടാണ് വെറുതെ ബാറിൽ പോയി തല്ലുണ്ടാക്കി ഇപ്പൊ കൈ പോയിപ്പോ സമാധാനമായില്ലേ
There's a little
ആരെ
dolly
കുറ്റം
shot there.
പറഞ്ഞാ? ഇതൊക്കെ എനക്ക് എല്ലിന്റെ ഇടയിൽ വറ്റുകുത്തുമ്പോ തോന്നണതാ വീട്ടിലറിയിച്ച
എന്തിന് എന്നിട്ട് അവരെ കൂടി ഇങ്ങോട്ട് എഴുന്നള്ളാനാ
അനക്ക് അവരുടെ ആവശ്യമൊന്നുമില്ലല്ലോ ഇത് കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് കിട്ടിയാ പോരെ അല്ല അന്നെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടും കാര്യമൊന്നുമില്ല
ഹേയ് ഉപദേശം ഒന്നല്ല
ഒന്ന് പോടെ
സുഖം തന്നെയല്ലേ കടി
So maybe I'll just turn down the volume and you guys can hear me. So again, I encourage you guys to watch, all these films that we're going to show and watch the full thing. Like just check out the links we're going to post. But I'll tell you, this film, just looking at it as like a cinematographer, just a filmmaker from a technical point of view, amazingly done. There's really, like if you're thinking about, oh, maybe I need to develop or, get better equipment, let's say, and improve my thing. Well, there's always little things that you can do, but I'll tell you, to the filmmakers that made this, you already have everything that's necessary to tell like a really good story, and on a broad scale and get it seen, whether it's on television, cinema screens, whatever. It just really, with this amount of skill, like I'll tell you the camera work, the editing, even the colors in it, like the color grade, even the lighting, like everything looks good. Now, some of you might not prefer this style of cinematography. You might, like maybe something more stylized or something more realistic. But that's just an opinion. It doesn't really, doesn't mean that it's bad. So I'll tell you that I think it's, from a technical point of view, it's amazing. To me, I guess the pacing was off. And it's not to say that the pacing is bad, because maybe it's good. One thing I learned, I shot a film last year, here, let me just switch. So yeah, last year I shot a film in India, actually. That was, originally I was slated to direct that film. I had to turn it down simply because I felt like I wasn't the right person for it. It was really an Indian story. It was not it had some American elements in it, but it wasn't, it wasn't a culture that I really understand. So at the end of the day, I had to, say, no, I can't do this. Like, I'm not the right person to direct it. But I still worked on the film as a cinematographer. And I'm glad I didn't accept the job as a director. Not because I think there was anything wrong with it. In fact, I think the film, the script is really cool. What I realized is, especially when I was there in India, is just how much different the culture is. Like, there were things that we were doing, and most of the crew was Indian, but there were some people there. There was one guy, for example, who was working with me from Australia, another one from the US too. And when we were talking and we were looking at some of the scenes, the way they were being set up and the staging, the way it was done, I mean, to me, it just seemed like there were certain things that the director was giving direction to some of the actors, like how they should behave. It just seemed really weird. Like, I didn't understand it until I talked to the director. I was like asking him, like, why are you doing this? And then he tells me, oh, this is the custom, or this is how you do this, or like, here's what children do to, show respect to their, adults and things like that. Things that you would never understand unless you're from that culture. And so that's what I'm saying is also, when it comes to film itself, in that part of India where I was in, the film culture is completely different. Their pacing of the films, like, they have films there that run like 4 hours long, and that's like a normal thing. So that's what I'm saying is, it's just, I could go in here and say, for me, for my culture, my expectations, the pacing is a little bit too long. But I'll just tell you guys, at the end of the day, it's it's clearly not a film made for an American audience. So I'm not the one that should be judging it, right? So whoever is from that culture can probably tell you guys better, I guess, what they think. But just overall, like, if you guys look at the shots, you'll notice that the shots, sound is also really good. I'll put up some of the sounds here. So the sound is really, yeah.
Like, also, think, visually it looks pretty good now, but like, just from my North American, or I guess European also perspective, seems that it's like, sometimes I didn't know why the certain action was shown. Like, it was like, it's people walking up, to a place, like little things, like when you're if you spend so much time on somebody taking something out of their jacket and so on, like you attach some significance to it. Like at least that's how it is, in North American movies and so on. Like has to be like efficient, justified why you're spending so much screen time on something. So because like a lot of times it's like, so am I trying, is there something here that I'm supposed to pick up? And like after a while feel like it's just an unnecessary action that you see. But again, as you said, maybe it's just totally because of the different culture.
And I'll tell you that I'm sure some of those things are interchangeable between the cultures, but one big thing that I noticed is like when I was working in the Indian film is like, for example, they cut to music, right? They had the typical Indian musical numbers, and they would cut it and like some of the weirdest moments sometimes I thought. I'd be like, why would you like it was something happened that I didn't think was that important, right? But then I found out that actually in this culture it is very important. It's something like it makes a big difference. Like there was this one thing about a character walks in and basically sees a name on front of the house is different, and supposedly in that part of India is very like this name. I forgot what they call a nameplate. I think in each house it has a big significance. It like yeah, I guess you pass it on generation to generation. I mean, I don't even fully understand, but basically that was a really big thing. Like again, if it was me directing, I would have been just like, okay, he looks at it, it's a different name, he goes, oh, whatever, somebody else lives in that house now. But in the movie, it made such a big, impact. It's like, wow, the name changed, and then boom, they cut into a musical, and it's all about the, the nameplate. So that's why I'm saying is like, yeah, it's hard for somebody from a different culture to judge those things. Technical things, I think you can judge. But what else you think?
Oh, just like one quick shot that kind of combines technical aspect and directional aspect is like the shot with the girl when she's using the laptop, and then she walks over to this barrier and looks what's down on the street. And when she goes there, she's standing there. She seems to be the focus of the attention, but the focus doesn't change to her. It stays on the laptop, right?
Yeah.
Just in the foreground. So I was thinking, is there something significant happening there with the laptop again? Because like, why wouldn't you follow the person and focus that? Is that like was just a technical mistake, or was it supposed to be done on purpose? So that's sort of like, with the focus, even like you're kind of telling the audience, this is what's important now or not. So sometimes you want to do something counterintuitive, but yeah, with that shot, I didn't know at the end. Like there was nothing to say. Oh, there was a reason why we're focusing on the laptop, even there was like a human being, there,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But just looking even like right now, these shots like cinematography wise, I'll tell you, beautiful. The color grading, the use of lighting gels and things like that. So I really like it. So if you want my opinion, sorry, what's the name of the filmmaker here?
Oh, like again, we're going to butcher it, so I don't like Vino. Let's
Vino.
just say
Okay.
Vino.
So yeah, Vino,
First name,
great job. That's all I can say is like just keep it up and just tell more stories. So again, I'll post a link to this so you guys can check out the full thing if you want. It does have English subtitles for those of you that want it. So here, let's see.
Yeah.
Next film is, I believe it's a film.
Sorry,
It
go ahead.
is from Jarno Vincentius, and it is from. This one is from Sweden.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it's probably. I think it's just probably say what's the name, Jarno. Probably Jarno. I think
Jarno. Okay, so maybe
Scandinavian
it's
languages they don't. Take
Jarno.
Jarno
Oh,
like
okay. So
Americans,
sorry,
Canadians.
Jarno Vincentius. Hopefully we're pronouncing it right. But yeah, Jarno, and then yeah, from Sweden. And this is a film that like really caught my eye. So here, let me just bring it up so you guys can see it. And here it is. Like right away, these opening shots just like wow, It's a good use, I think, of aerial photography, where you're getting the low angles. It's not your typical like wide establishing shot. It just kind of shows you the eeriness of this location, this forest. Nice graphic design, sound design with like it's kind of like music / ambient sounds. nice intro now. It's a 15-minute long film, so I believe it starts soon here, so let's leave it.
Hallå? Är det någon där? Hallå? Vem där?
So I'm gonna let you guys kind of watch it here while I'm talking about it. It's really worth checking out. Again, it's I'm not from Sweden, but I think it's a more of like an American kind of type of when it comes to pacing the story, the type of a film. So I think it's something I understand more. Really drew me in, and there's actually some cool twists. That's all I'm gonna say without ruining the film. So I would actually encourage you guys to watch it. It's I guess one thing I can tell you is it's sort of a sci-fi without saying more, without ruining it. But yeah, really cool film. And as you guys can see, it's well shot and everything. I believe he said, maybe Lucas, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think in the message that the filmmaker sent us, that he both directed, he shot it, right? He produced it. I don't know if he wrote the story.
Also wrote it, yes.
He wrote it, okay. And also, what's it called? So he's like a one-man filmmaking machine, basically.
It was like a 2-person team.
Oh, okay. And also
4 days to shoot, 2 days to edit.
4 days to shoot. Wow, okay. And 10 days to edit. That's quick.
So for the whole post, so real fast production.
Yeah. And also, I think he mentioned what camera he shot in there, right? In case people.
Red 1 MX.
Red 1 MX. Okay.
And Aperture Amaran Lightstorm lights.
Oh, okay. Some of my favorite lights. I love Aperture products in general, but their lights are really great. So as you can see, I mean, it's a small production still, but it's it looks top notch. Like this is a film that could be up for the Oscars even. It just really comes down to I guess good marketing at this point, and I think the story is good. So it's just really, like I said, there's nothing bad that I can say. What about you, Lucas? What do you think? Did you have a chance to watch the whole thing or no?
Okay, so I mean, visually it's very good, and again, like it's kind of incredible that they did this movie so quickly with and it was with a small crew, so it's well done. And cinematography, it's really good how they so how they frame the shots. Like here I'm looking at the shot right now with the when the main character is talking to the psychiatrist. Really like how they did it, and don't even focus on the psychiatrist. And like I like this, also these basically these directive these decisions that they make as a director. But like for me, what doesn't work is that it's too slow to get to the, it's too slow for me in terms of like, again, the titles take a long time to get, to show up. And then basically like there's this restaurant where, this main character meets somebody, and that, I think that's the story really takes off from there, but it takes a really long time to get there. I wish it just got there faster. That would be my only thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not like there were still good stuff happening before that, but like just too much time spent on credits themselves, and yeah, maybe just shorten the edit, like, and yeah, just the pacing to that point. I thought it was too slow, but the story, yeah, it is interesting, and once I got to that scene in the restaurant, I was really into it. So that would be my criticism, but so like just story wise, right? It could be improved, but I mean it's really amazing what they've been able to achieve on the production side.
Yeah. So yeah, you actually bring up a really good point. And the what I mean by that is that yes, it's the pacing. I think can always be adjusted, but also it's not so much that I think it depends what you're showing basically. What kind of what's going to be the audience that you're going to be expecting it. If this was, let's say, in a film festival, which I believe this film actually won many film festival awards, you're sitting in a cinema, or if you're showing it even like a home cinema, right? Like somebody's dedicated, sitting down, has put aside time. Then I think the pacing is good, because the pacing in this film does is it builds up this suspense, builds up this atmosphere before you get into the story and this and that. So especially for something like this that has this kind of a suspenseful side, you want that, right? You want people to be able to kind of get into the mood, right? Now for YouTube, I think just in general, not even YouTube, but just online, because online there's so many distractions and things happening. That's where I would say you can always re-edit it for online and change it. And I mean, we've done this with our films, right, Lucas? Like we'll have a different version for that we show in film festivals and things like that, and then when we put it up online, we'll make the opening credits super fast, or sometimes just cut them out altogether and just leave end credits, because it's different pacing, right? You really need to grasp people's attention right off the bat, when you're online. So that's the only thing. Is like for online, and especially like for us here that we're getting all these submissions and we kind of had to go through all of them. Yes, I also admit that the beginning seemed slow. It was I kind of didn't know what the film was about until this scene here in the restaurant that we just saw. But like I said, it's good if it was for like a cinema screening. So yeah. Anyways, that's what I think.
I mean, it's a bigger topic, but maybe also like if people are just will be used to different storytelling online, when they go back to the cinema, they might still want the same thing. And I mean, look at old films, American films, Hollywood studio films, like they had long credits, but nowadays they really try to get into the movie really fast. Even it's still, from the big studios, and it's still
true. Yeah, it's gonna change, but that's what I mean is that yeah, but that's what I mean. Like right now, if somebody's watching on YouTube, let's say, they might be watching on their phone, or when they're commuting to work, and they only have 5 minutes, so it's different. You have to get to the story quickly, because people don't have that much time. But when they're watching it in a cinema, that that they devoted their time and they're just there in the cinema to watch that film, right? And so because of that, I'm just saying that it's different expectations. But also, I've noticed that because more and more people consume content online now, and like I said, the expectation is different. Then when they come to watch a movie in a cinema, even so you can see it slowly rubs off on them, where they also want a bit faster pacing and stuff like that in the cinema. Personally, I think it can be a bad thing. I mean, it can get to a point where, like, I've seen some great stories, like really great stories by some young filmmakers on YouTube especially, that are like I said, great story, but it was so fast that to me it was like I almost wished it was longer. I wish I could enjoy it. Now I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old and irrelevant, and my tastes are basically not what the youth wants right now. But I really felt like there was like like when you watch a movie and and you love that world that it's in, and you want to it's kind of like when the movie finishes and you want to be more experience that world more. I mean, I think that's the reason why Star Wars and those franchises work, is because people want more of that world, right? So for me, I feel like I don't want everything to be that fast. But yes, if I'm on the go and I just have only a minute or two to check something else, then I don't want to wait 5 or 10 minutes, go through a credits, right, opening sequence. I want to be like, okay, quickly, what is this about? So
it's
good and bad.
Sometimes you cannot adapt maybe your movie to for example, to an internet audience, and you shouldn't really hurt your movie, make just to make it quick for the internet. Like if you meant it to be seen in cinema and it's supposed to play slower, because then later on that you build things up and there's a payoff because of that slow pace, then do it. Film, I guess the director will know the best, and the writers,
Yeah.
what works, and sometimes you cannot just adapt it to a different, platform, right?
Yeah. So here
let's
we,
move to
the next film is from Hashim. He's from Yemen, I believe. The film, yeah, Yemen. He directed it and he did the sound. He says so. Let me here just let you guys watch it and see what you guys think. Now it is a longer film again, so because of that, again, we can't show the whole film.
هتتزوج مثلها مثل كل البنات. انا الحين البنت راي خلاص انا قديت كلمه للرجال ما في شيء يا رجال.
ما علينا من كلام الناس يا رجال، صلي على النبي، عاد البنت صغيره.
وانت يا صفاء صفاء
حالك بدا طارئه، تعال تسال. كملتوا تقدروا تروحوا.
هذه اول مرة في المستشفى.
كيف ألاقي شجاعة تكفيني أتعامل مع مواقف كهذه؟
So that was the intro there. And then this is where you see the title and then the actual film starts here. So again, I'm gonna skip through it because we just don't have time to show everything. But just look at like things like cinematography is a big thing I notice because I'm a cinematographer on a lot of the films that I work on. That's all I do sometimes. So I think cinematography, when I say cinematography, I mean like the framing, composition, the angles, and lighting, right? In this film goes for reality. It's trying to tell, it's not a fictional or like a stylized story. It's trying to show a real world of this girl. And so the cinematography is, or you could say the lighting because of that, is not, like so obvious. So they're trying to make it look a lot of times like it's just, that light bulb there in this room that's lighting the scene. When they're outside, like here, I can see there's lighting in there, but it's done in such a subtle way, so it feels like that lighting, on the ceiling just happens to light the characters the way. Here, like these nice crane shots you see with the light coming through, it's still, it's realistic. It's just the sun, but that's how you can make a very realistic kind of a lighting look very interesting, right? So it doesn't mean that it has to just be flat and boring. Like here, having that light coming in through the windows and kind of those reflections. That's what a good filmmaker and good cinematographer is going to look for, opportunities, right? It still feels real. It doesn't feel like some Avengers or something, but it's has a nice look, right? It's just good photography. Now, story-wise, again, it's a culture I completely don't understand, and without even, I don't even want to get into politics and things like that. To me, like the story, I guess it doesn't interest me that much because, like a lot of the things that they're showing in there, it just, to me, it just seems, some of it just seems ridiculous, like the way that this girl's being treated by her father. But I also, I'll just tell you, story-wise, I kind of almost guessed right off the bat, okay, like the story is about this girl who has these struggles, like I said, has a father, and because of her father and her culture, that she basically can't be who she really wants to be. She has to kind of fit into this idea of what a woman or what a girl is supposed to do. And I kind of was thinking, well, and she doesn't like that, so she's going to be sort of a rebel, you could say. And she's gonna, get her way one way or another. And so that's more or less what happens in the film. How it happens, I'm not gonna tell you. You guys watch the whole film. But to me, I guess it wasn't much of a surprise. So that's what I'm saying is the story. It's cool that there's people telling these stories from these other parts of the world. I just think if it was aimed, let's say, for an American audience, you want somebody here to watch and just be more into the story. I think you need to add some other elements that are, or maybe tell the story in a non-linear way. That's the only advice I would give. But pacing-wise, the editing, as you can see here, the angles, these nice kind of moving shots, crane shots, everything. Like, and the cinematography, like I said, is dead on. Even the sound design. So there's really, from a technical point of view, I think you're all the way there. I mean, you're making films, making good films. It's just now it really, I guess, to make films that really stand out and get a big audience, it just comes down to telling stories that the audience wants to hear. And that's what I think. Anyways, what about you, Lucas? Any thoughts?
Yeah, like overall, yeah, like the whole idea, we shouldn't really be focusing too much about this, like in terms of whether we like the story or not, because again, if the film is story is not made for us, then what doesn't matter what we think, right? Like, so that's one thing.
Exactly.
But again, like I guess you try to talk about like editing and pacing in general, but again, like But one thing is, I mean, Hashim here, it's a very nice movie, but Hashim was asking really about the technical aspects of the movie, so I guess that's what he's saying. That
and so technically, like this wide, the wide aspect ratio that he decided on, and like even this shot right now, where we kind of camera slowly moves in, like it's dead on. Like the way it creates the emotions and kind of makes you feel frustrated, like this girl. Like it's the technical supports what the story is about. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything like any tips for him so he can improve on something next time? That's what he was looking for.
To be honest, I wish I had maybe that I could be like so I can maybe hear myself talk more. But no, like literally, there's nothing I can say. Like there's nothing bad. Like like sometimes you watch movies and it's like it's almost there, but the editing's a little off or something like that. Well, and here, like no, there's nothing. Like I'm telling you. Filmmaking, like technical, from the technical side, you have it. So you're, I would just say, just continue telling more movies. Like telling more stories, making more movies, because, it's I'm looking at it right now, and it's the way the camera moves and everything. I think it just comes down to, telling more stories. Like I said, that hopefully catch an audience, interest. So.
Okay, I think we'll one more video to review, right?
Yeah, I think.
We can answer all
well, I think there's more, but we'll only do one more, because otherwise it's going to be too many. So let's see which one, and whichever videos we didn't get to, we'll obviously get to them next week. We're going to do this weekly.
One quick note, though, guys. So some of you did not really submit tell us exactly what you wanted us to talk about, and you didn't even provide specific piece of your work. So you just give us a link to your Vimeo channel or YouTube channel, and so we don't know exactly what you want us to talk about. So be specific, tell us, okay, this is a project you want us to look at, and you would like us to speak about those things, so that this way we can try to be helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, it's difficult.
Yeah. All right, so here, let me just play this. So this is a music video by David. What's his last name, Lucas? Maybe you can tell us.
I think it's okay, hold on, so I don't make a mistake. Duckworth. I'm going to put it in the. So as a music video, I'm going to put it in the comments.
And he shot this on the Blackmagic cinema camera, graded in DaVinci Resolve. And from what he was saying, the video was basically. I guess indie, more of an indie production. But he said the interesting thing was that the woman in the video, she actually has cancer, I believe, right? Maybe Lucas, you can correct me if I'm wrong. And that she was actually going through some of the things that they wanted to show here in the video, which is always interesting. When you have somebody going through something that traumatic, right? Now he was asking me, I guess, because he said the band wanted to asked him to show less of this devil, or showing more like it's just in her head and then for real. Is there anything else in there he was asking for?
Well, there was one specific question that might be easy to address. Is the band wanted to see fewer cuts, more crossfades.
Oh, okay, like more just dissolving back and forth.
Yeah, to apply more crossfades instead of cuts. So many cuts. So can you say
Well,
about that?
I'm kind of like thinking about it. I'm also just thinking from in general, just how it's shot and everything.
I mean, music videos, you don't see too many crossfades. It kind of slows down the action, right? Like slow. I don't know. It's difficult. I don't see too many music videos with lots of crossfades. Like
No. I mean, there are
not
some.
that it cannot be done.
There's some
Yeah.
that have a lot. Yeah. I'll tell you, cinematography wise, like for example, like look at this close up here. I think this is a shot that looks cinematic, and the reason why I say that is because it has. Basically, you're filling in the screen with only things that are interesting, right? So you see, the mouth here of the singer, and then there's depth to it. You have the backlighting here, lighting him from the side, and you have here, this side of his face, right? That's lit a little bit, lighter, not as strong as the backlight. And you see the microphone. So it's an interesting shot. It looks automatically because of that cinematic. Now, a lot of the shots, though, and especially in a music video, I'm saying this because this was a film, maybe a different story, but most music videos, you kind of want to have it a little bit more stylized. Like this shot here. This white shot, I'm not a fan of. I feel like the lighting, I mean, it's interesting. I guess it still has a bit of that backlight and has some shadows on his face, but I feel like it's just, there's we're seeing too much stuff that's not interesting. That's why, like, if you don't have anything interesting to show, I would say just don't show it. Just reframe a shot or zoom in and just show what's interesting. So that's why the close-up of his mouth looks interesting. But here, look at this. You have all this empty space on the walls. And it's just, like maybe if this painting here was a bit more to the right, we kind of fill this space. If this was more to the left, then maybe, like you can... But it just, to me, the location doesn't look interesting. And also the angles, like this wider lens, you can see that he used. And yeah, because of that, it just looks right away makes you feel like it's it's not like a top-notch kind of production. That's what I would say, because it has some of these, like you look at that shot there of the drummer even. Let me here pause it. Again, I feel like the framing's a little weird, like this composition, like he's filling in the frame basically here with like the drums and the drummer, but here there's all this empty space. Unless there's something there showing up, then don't show that empty space. Either put something in there, or basically zoom in the camera and just show more of him and the drums. So and the lighting in this one is a little on the flat side. So I would say maybe more stylized would be better. The shots with the devil, the makeup is really cool. I just feel like it's like sort of too much in your face. Like it's just like clearly you see the devil. And because it's a music video, and I think that maybe the band was right, and that's asking you to kind of make it a little bit more interesting, maybe like showing it, because if you fade it in and out, there's a lot of fades, you can hide a lot of those things, right? Whereas here you can kind of just see his face, and yeah, it just seems like it's like boom, there's the devil. There's no mystery about it, nothing like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like in those cases, I would have. Either like I work actually in Ecuador right now. This filmmaker, Daniel Juan, I've done a bunch of projects with him, and he likes to, when he does these things that are not quite supposed to be reality, but he doesn't yet want it to look very stylized like some superhero movie. He keeps the lighting very flat, very natural, but he then blurs a lot of the image, or he uses angles like really long lenses, so you're not quite like you don't see the whole. Let's say in this case the face of this guy. You don't see just like there, like boom. He would kind of hide it a little bit, and then in that case, I think the makeup will look even better, because I think it's good makeup and the prosthetics and stuff. But there's still, I mean, you can see it's makeup, right? And I think this way it will be just don't show everything, don't show it like just there. So that's one thing I would say. Like that shot again, like the shot here in the bathroom. I understand you want to show this girl but mirror, and then the devil behind her. But there's all these things here, like we don't need to see it. It's all this empty space that's just thing. So in this case, I would have just zoomed in, like somewhere here, zoomed in like this, and you still see her, you still see the reflection in the mirror, and it would have just been more interesting, right? Either that, or just make the rest of the frame, like fill it in with something interesting, right? Or just blur it or something, That's what I feel like, and it's like I said, it's not horrible. There's some nice, good things about it too, about this video, but Those are things I would have improved. And I think, yeah, with the editing, if you did more like these dissolves and you kind of constantly changing, then you would hide a lot of the facts that, like the fact that some of these shots maybe don't have the best framing. Like these shots, you see, when the second you go outside, because you know it's supposed to be just natural light, it looks right away more interesting, right? So even this shot, like here, even he's a little bit off to the side, but you have something a bit more interesting there. You have the nature, so and then here when you're cutting in the close-ups right away, boom, looks more cinematic, right? So those are things to be, I guess, aware of, right? What else is there? Like this shot, definitely, like that shot out the window, the lighting looked way, just like looked overexposed in some parts, like here, even here in the car. And it just, yeah, I guess it didn't match the feel of the rest. It looks like it was shot on a different camera. Maybe it wasn't, but it doesn't match the quality and the dynamic range of the rest of the video. So that's another thing.
Okay.
I'm just kind of going through the rest here. But just overall, I mean, that's what it is. Like, look at this, the shot here of the... where was it? It's like a close-up of the drums, the drum kit, like there. See, it's such a close-up, and most of it's out of focus, but you still get an idea of what it is, and boom, because you're not filling in the frame with other things that just look like there, like that's it. It looks more interesting right away because of that. So that's, yeah, I guess that's the only thing that that's the thing that I would say is what you can improve on. But it's great try. I mean, just keep doing more videos, more work. I mean, I think it's good to see people. And I'll tell you, like, one thing you can see from all these things that we've shown today is that people use different cameras, and it doesn't matter whether they're using the red one or something, or other really expensive cameras, or something as affordable as this camera, the Blackmagic Cinema camera, or even DSLRs, DSLMs. The one thing you can't say right now is that it's difficult to get a good quality image, as in an image that's sharp, has all the right colors and everything. I mean, right now all the cameras, I would say, deliver that. It just really comes down to your decisions as a filmmaker. What angles, what lenses you choose, how you decide to light it, things like that, and obviously the editing. So, anyways, that's it. So great try, guys. I mean, great work to all of you. Thank you for sending in your work to be shown, and I guess we've pretty much come to the end of the show. Like I said, we've had a huge delay today. Sorry for that, and some technical problems. We'll get better, I promise you, next week. And if there's any other questions left because of the technical problems, we're so behind schedule that, like you guys can see, we didn't even get to all the questions. But Lucas, tell me, what's the questions that stand out to you?
Oh my gosh, there was a discussion about the GH5 versus Sony A7S, which one is the better? Also about the Sony FS5, what you think about it, between somebody's deciding between the Ursa Mini Pro and the Sony FS5.
I would say Ursa Mini, because if you're going for that camera and you're spending that kind of money, you probably want something that is going to give you, like a good quality, like professional, good compression, all that stuff, and also just a good-looking image, like top of the line, image. And the problem, like for all the great things that the Ursa Mini has, really the FS5 has, at the end of the day, the compression is really horrible, really limiting in it. And I know that they've been making improvements and stuff, but just using that that codec that Sony came up with, it's not good. It's also hard for editing on your computer and stuff. Whereas Ursa Mini, you can shoot in ProRes, you can shoot in RAW. I mean, all of those, you can edit with ProRes, no problem on any computer. Yes, you're going to need more space, but hard drive space, but you're also getting a beautiful image. You don't have any compression artifacts like you'll get on the FS5. Because I've shot things on the FS5, but in the end, and that's why I never even got around to doing a review of it. I have all this footage I shot with it, and I might release, but like I said, unless I really think it's a product worth talking about, to me, I can't honestly recommend it for the price. If that camera was priced maybe at $2,000, $2,500 even, yes, then for that price it's good. But when you're talking about close to $6,000, I would say, really the only advantage I would say that I loved about it was the variable ND. But now on the Ursa Mini Pro for $6,000. So like you put basically extra like $400 really, and you'll get all those things. You'll get maybe not a variable ND, but you'll get a adjustable ND that's built in, and you have way better quality. So there's really no reason, I would say. As far as the GH5, I can't say because I haven't used it yet. From what I've seen, it looks great, but you guys have to wait till I get the camera and I start using it. So once I use it, I'm excited myself. I'll just tell you one thing I'm worried about. We'll see how how it works out. Is at the end of the day, they're giving you 10-bit, which is great, right? 4:2 recording internally in the camera, so you don't technically need an external recorder. But again, you're recording to a really compressed internal codec in the camera, and that's the when you're using an external recorder, for example, or like Ursa Mini cameras, you're recording to ProRes or RAW. It's a huge advantage. When you're going, like I said, for that best basic quality that you can get, like you're getting for the top, then you really want to make sure that you have the best compression. So that's one thing that worries me. But we'll see once I get to use the GH5. Any other questions?
Well, there's. What about the full HD quality of the Ursa Mini? Does it crop, or is it just in the high-speed mode?
The Ursa Mini, I mean like the 4.6K?
Yeah, I think so. That's
well, I guess because the 4K I think is slightly different, but it's it is it's going to crop in. So it's a cropped sensor. Forgot what's the crop in, but it's not a big difference. I mean, sometimes it's a good thing and you're cropping in because you don't need as long of a lens, right? So like a film I shot in India last year, I shot some slow motion stuff on it, and I actually wanted a really, really long lens, and I didn't have the big zoom. So I put in there 100mm that I had. Boom, I cropped in and looked beautiful. So it looked like I had a 300 something mil. So that can be a good thing. But yeah, you're cropping in there. But as far as quality, I mean, I haven't, because you can still shoot 2K 120 frames per second RAW. So I mean, the quality looks beautiful.
So you don't shoot in a full HD?
No, you can shoot in HD or 2K. Yeah, when you're shooting slow motion, basically any 2K or below, right?
Okay. I mean, there's a few more, but I mean, it is getting kind of late. So maybe you can, we'll find a way to answer those questions. Maybe.
Well, let's go through the thing. Let's do it like quick. 1, 2, 3. We'll see.
Can I use the new PL mount for Ursa Mini?
They're gonna have, I believe, a PL mount because the new Ursa Mini is gonna have interchangeable lens mounts, and I believe there's a PL mount coming, or they already have it. Next question.
There is no new PL mount. There's just one type of PL mount.
Well, right? There is a new one that has transfers some electronic information, so it will give information from cinema lenses baked into the metadata of the camera, which lets you know, basically what lens you use and what focal length. Other than that, that doesn't do anything. If you care about that, then yes, their new mount, or the one that they're putting on there, it will do that. It will transfer their electronic information.
Okay.
Yeah.
How important is it for someone to get connected with other filmmakers starting out? What's a good way of doing it?
How to connect with other filmmakers, you're saying?
How important is it to connect with other filmmakers, and how do you go about it?
Oh, it's always important. That's why I think, I never went to film school, and I don't think you have to go to film school to learn filmmaking. But what film school is amazing at is networking. You meet people there, right? Because you're doing projects together. So at the beginning, when you're starting out, and especially if you don't have the kind of personality where maybe you're not the most outgoing person in a film school, I mean, that's all you do. You're going to be put together in a group with other people who want to make films. So you're going to make friends. So that I would say it is very important, because a lot of times, when you start doing bigger and bigger projects, I mean, there's no way you can do everything yourself. Even if you're a writer, director, producer, cinematographer, you're still going to need other people to help you with the lighting and help you hold the microphones, things like that, right? And also just somebody to kind of keep you in check, right? Give you their opinion. So, and also just for getting work. I mean, there's so many times people that I've heard, like example, who got their start not because they did something in film school, but because they met somebody in film school. Like, it was one filmmaker that I know who basically met another filmmaker in film school, and then he himself was struggling, but the other filmmaker got really successful, and then boom, called him up, and he's like, "Hey man, I always loved working with you in film school. I have this project coming up. You want to work with me?" And then he got his foot in the door, and that was the end of it. So definitely making connections so you have work opportunities, but also just have talented people to work with, is very, very important. Next question.
Okay. Ronin versus movie. Which one would you choose?
Movie, never, I don't own it. I've used it basically on a set with somebody else was really using it. I had a chance to play around with it. So I don't have much experience, but I would say from just kind of, again, I could be totally wrong. I think Ronin offers all the same features pretty much that the movie, but way, cheaper price. So at least the last time I checked, maybe that's changed. So I would go with Ronin. Yeah. Next.
FS5 raw 14-bit. What's your opinion of it?
Yeah, the FS5. I mean, if you get that, then it's great. 14-bit, you're getting raw and all that stuff. But I'll tell you, the solutions for it are still not great. I still think it's better to just go shoot with like a camera that natively shoots raw, like the Ursa Mini, or Red cameras or whatever, because you're then taking this small form factor and then you're putting a big recorder on it, and you have to have battery solution for that, and you have all these cables, and it makes the camera really awkward, then really out of balance. Like I've seen some of the FS5 setups where camera's kind of wobbly because there's so little weight on the bottom, and then this big recorder monitor. It's just, yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you buy a camera that, let's say, has all these great features, but you're thinking of upgrading, maybe adding the RAW option, but it's not something you're always going to be using, that's great. But like I said, with the FS5, I think an internal codecs suck, so you kind of have to upgrade it. But then at the same time, once you add and spend all that extra money, you're spending basically with a good recorder solution and all the hard drives and everything. You're building kind of a monster of a rig, and you're spending over $8,000. That's the cheapest setup that I've seen. So for that price, you might as well buy, put in a little extra, buy the Red camera, or you can buy reused Red cameras already for that, or spend $6,000 and get the new Ursa Mini Pro. So yeah, that's it. Next one.
Somebody with FS5 looking to buy FS5 asking whether you need a shotgun mic on the FS5, or is the internal mic good enough for audio?
On the FS5, I mean,
internal mic. Would you connect another mic to it, or just get?
I would always. I mean, if you're just using it as like some kind of home video camera, which I don't see why you would buy that camera, then, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's good audio. It is good. But if you're using it if you're doing an interview, if you're doing, I mean, anything, I mean, unless it's like a documentary kind of, let's say, run and gun, and you have somebody like right there in front of the camera, maybe 2 feet away. Unless you're that close, that mic is, any mic, doesn't matter how good it is, it's just not going to do the job, because it's a built-in mic. It's where the camera is. So you always need external audio solution. Right? So that's the thing. Anyways, I think that's it for the questions. Again, we'll and hopefully answer more questions next week, because we won't have so many technical problems, so we won't be delayed. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this show. And you guys...
Yeah, you guys have like a tutorial, right, next time, Tomek?
Yeah, I think, yeah, like I said, some of them are going to be tutorials, some of them might be gear reviews, some of the things, but there's always going to be a section where we're answering questions, and then where we're showcasing your work and things like that. So again, you guys make sure you go and submit your work. So what's the address again that they can go to?
I did post it here, but hold on. I had it posted here.
Well, we'll post it again on Facebook, on my Facebook page. So just go to Facebook.
Website, basically, if you go to the contact section on our website, then you'll see there is a
okay.
page for where you can submit. But I'm going to post it right now here in the chat on YouTube.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so, anyways,
the link.
So Lucas posted that, and go in there, submit your work if you guys want us to just show off your work. I mean, maybe you don't want us to just talk about it or critique it, just show it off. Help you promote it. Maybe like I said, we only have limited time, but maybe you could have a trailer for your film. Send us a trailer. We'll post it and then provide again the link to just make sure you send the link to the full thing too in the description. And then, like I said, people will hopefully go and if they like the trailer, they'll go and watch your whole film. So that's what we're gonna do, and otherwise we're gonna take more questions and do some other gear reviews, tutorials, whatever it is. We'll think of it. So anyway, see you guys next week at 12 o'clock again, sharp. Even we're gonna solve everything. There's not gonna be any delays. Like today we had a 15-minute delay. So We'll see you guys tomorrow. Next week. The noon New York time, by the way. So I don't know what time where you are located in, but New York time, it's noon on Sunday. And let us know also, guys, if you like this time, this time slot. If you guys want us to change it, do it at other times. Anyways, that's it. I'm out. It was fun.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and hopefully, like I said, we see you, all of you guys back next week and more. Anyways, that's it. Bye.